So tell me a little bit more about that amateur fight. So you left America, you finished high school, and now you fly back to Malaysia, where you were born, where you grew up, and now you're
I was born in Hawaii.
Oh, born in Hawaii. That's right.
Yeah,
I forget about that.
I was born in Hawaii.
That's
the reason I went back to Hawaii, because I wanted to go back to where I was born and just to live there.
That's cool.
Yeah, but the amateur fight.
Yeah.
I flew back to Malaysia because I was in Hawaii at the time doing a year at university, and that's where it kicked off for me. Because the whole time I was in high school, I was doing these accelerated business classes like marketing and accounting, just college-based classes, so you get more credits when you get into college.
Right.
Because I always thought, my mom said you go do some business, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So I did like those advanced classes, like spent all my time doing that, get into college, had like however many credits already ahead. But when I got there, my brother was back in Malaysia because he moved back. Because my cousin at the time was really ill with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he flew back to Malaysia first. And then he started training full-time with the team that they had at the moment. It wasn't a big team, but it was the best that they had at the time. Matt Polino was there as well. I think that was actually after. But besides the point, he started like fighting. He was actually, Keanu, the first sanctioned MMA fight in Malaysia.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
He was the first sanctioned MMA fight in Malaysia. It was amateur. Like, obviously, he was 16 years old.
Yeah.
He fought this guy that was I don't know, 35 or 37. And he got paid like 200 ringgit, which was like, I don't know, $45 or something like that.
Amazing.
And then went on his pro record, but that's another story.
Yeah.
And then after that, he got approached by this promotion. I don't know if you remember Dare.
No.
Dare's,
yeah, a little.
yeah.
I remember the name, but I don't remember a lot
Dare's
of the fights.
like one of like the OG like small Bangkok shows.
Yeah.
And they wanted to give him a contract.
Mm.
And my brother told me, like, in my head, I was in Hawaii at the time. I was working like 19 hours, 20 hours a week just to pay for school.
Yeah.
Wasn't really training because the closest gym was like an hour and a half away by bus.
Mm.
So I was just lifting every day. And then I hear this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm going off on tangent. This was after.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull back a little bit.
Okay.
So before Hawaii, I went back to Malaysia for the summer after high school in Utah. I jumped a little bit of the timeline.
Yeah. That's okay. Just go with it, bro.
I'm sorry.
Don't be
people.
sorry.
I'm sorry. So after senior year of high school, I went back to Malaysia. And I wanted to fight. I was 18 years old.
Mm.
And at the time, this gym called Muay Fit. I don't know, you probably heard of Muay Fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this gym in Malaysia. And they had like this, I messaged them because I was 18 years old. I was young. I was like, I want to fight somebody. Like,
Yeah.
I messaged them, hey, do you guys, so I messaged on Instagram, not Instagram, Facebook, hey, do you guys have anybody for me to fight? I'm looking to fight.
Yeah.
Like an amateur fight. I didn't say amateur fight, like just fight.
Yeah.
And then they sent me a list because they were running these tournaments like twice a year.
Mm.
And they have these tournaments and you call like the champion of the MMA champion.
Yep.
The level wasn't high. And I picked the biggest guy, I remember, of all of the list. And I picked the biggest guy, 84 kilos.
Oh, wow.
And then he had just won. Like, he wasn't like the most skilled, but he was big. And it was like, oh, you know what? I want to fight that guy.
Yeah.
So I trained. Like, obviously, I have no concept of like a camp. So I'm just sprinting every day, hitting pads, doing some like rolling with my brother. And when we get to the fight, this guy's massive.
How much do you weigh at the time?
I was probably like 65, 64.
All right.
Small, but
Yeah.
obviously in my head, I was way bigger.
Yep.
So that's how I got into my first amateur fight. Got to a gym. It was this Kung Fu seminar going on. And I remember he was, I don't remember the name, but they called him Sifu, you know?
Mm.
Obviously, Sifu.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously now, like, now that I've been in martial arts a little bit longer, if anyone's called Sifu, you gotta be like a little sus, you know?
Yeah, right.
There was a seminar with this Sifu, and I remember being in the back warming up, there was a little cage. There's maybe like 15, 20 people max in the gym.
Yeah.
And the Sifu was like crossed arms, laying on a chair, looking unimpressed. I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this guy? Besides the point,
Yep.
that was like something that stood out in my mind.
Yep.
I fought this guy. First round, bro, I thought I was ready, you know, because I've been training for a while. You know, when you have your first fight, everything goes out the window, first fight. I didn't even land like one punch in the first round. Like, I tried to throw a head kick, and this guy storms me, going for the double leg, take him down. Like, my jiu-jitsu worked at the time, which was fucking saved me, you know, because this guy was huge.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's besides the point. I ended up like winning the fight in the third round. But after that, like, I was so gassed, and I kind of like, you know, when you're so tired, you don't even celebrate. Kind of like pass it out.
Yeah.
But after that, I was hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my first amateur fight. My only amateur fight ever.
How'd you finish him?
It was a rear naked choke in the third round. Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu.
One hand, actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, one hand.
Amazing.
We had, like, the big gloves on.
Yeah.
And somehow I took him down. I got into mount. I was, like, beating him up. He turned. I got into the back. And I get this rear naked choke, but he's pulling on my backhand.
Yep.
And I turn my arm up, and I use my head
Oh,
to
no
go
way.
in. Yeah, and I finished it.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, it's actually funny, like, in the second round, I got this super tight armbar. I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
And then you can hear my brother, who's probably, like, 17 years old at
Yeah.
the time, maybe even, like, 17, 18. And you hear him yell, "Snap it! Snap it!" It's just me and him in the gym, like, fighting this guy, and he's yelling at me to snap this kid's arm. Like, we've always been down for fighting,
Yeah.
That was, like, amateur fighting.
So what year was this?
It had to be 2011, 2010,
Yeah.
something like that.
So, like, Ultimate Fighter, that's the Ultimate Fighter we were talking about. That was, like, maybe, like, 2005, 2006. I'm guessing. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it was pretty early. This is still very early in, like, the development of MMA.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because,
yeah.
like, prior to that, like, if you people that, like, don't watch MMA at home, you're not really familiar with, like, the history of MMA, like, this is really, like, transitional, like, 5 years after MMA is just even being well known. It's, like, now becoming MMA from an HB.
Yeah.
And, like, this is really early days, especially in Asia. You know what I mean? So, like, you guys are really kind of, like you said, your brother's, like, super grassroots as well. He was first sanctioned bout in Malaysia. That's crazy when you think about it, you know?
Yeah, it is.
And just, like, you guys are... All these people that are kind of finding this time were, like, early pioneers in Asia. Like, it took a while for the scene to kind of grow out here to what it is today.